We have several of our millennials who are here. Mateos Wynn is the chairman of that organization and will make a few statements. And then we'll take questions.
Thank you so much. And Representative Williams, thank you again for your service. Good afternoon. My name is Teos Wynn and I am president of the Millennial Civil Rights Campaign. And it is an honor to be here today, joined by esteemed lawmakers, colleagues and friends in support of two very important pieces of legislation, SR 537 and HR House Resolution 1040, seeking to acknowledge and apologize for the inhumanity and injustice of slavery and Jim Crow. As I stand here today, it is unfortunate but yet arguably true that we currently live in one of the most divided and polarized times our nation has ever witnessed, with present dangers of division and threats of injustice still continuing to plague our society at large and disproportionately affect communities of color. But how did we get here? Or I guess, how did we get back here? Or as some would even question, did we ever really leave? See, there are two things that we can learn from history. One is the ability for it to repeat if we allow it to manifest itself in modern versions, newer forms of servitude, modern forms of Jim Crow. The second thing that we learn is that there are many appropriate ways to address and cope with the unpleasant historical occurrences of our past, but sweeping unjust occurrences under the rug has never been one of them. We must with boldness address the darker moments of our state's past so that we may successfully move forward with a brighter and better future. See, many of the racial tensions and the actual construct of racism itself in America stem from the horrific hardships, slavery, and Jim Crow. And we are, to this day, still confronting the residual effects of their morbid legacies. So now racial reconciliation has become more urgent than ever. But I'm optimistic today because we share the opportunity to take necessary steps in the direction of a much needed and overwhelmingly supported racial reconciliation that needs to take place. This legislative session, we can begin a new narrative in Georgia that seeks to not just recognize a troubled past, but that chooses to honor the lives and legacy of those who weathered storms of unparalleled racial injustice and servitude on Georgian soil. So I see today as an expression of love for those who have unjustly paid a substantial price. And I'm reminded of the words of Dr. King today that state it will be power infused with love and justice that will change dark yesterdays into bright tomorrows and lift us from the fatigue of despair to the buoyancy of hope. Today there is hope, not to resolve every race issue, but at a minimum to get an apology. So let these resolutions begin a new narrative and truly reaffirm Georgia's commitment to freedom for all of its citizens. We ask for your support for these very important pieces of legislation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.